I wanted to just quickly go through, show you a few examples of what I've seen do really well. I purposely didn't choose my best ads in terms of performance. I didn't go through and choose all the ones running at like a buck a lead. I really chose realistic results, things that when we look at a cross section, it's rural areas, metro areas, big cities, small cities. So I try to get a good cross section of ads that I think are going to work for almost anybody. And I chose again ads that are less specific to one particular location and more open, that I think these results can be replicable anywhere. That's a tough word for me today. So I've got a number of categories here, and you'll see really everything that I've built on all of these ads were built from two templates. The first one alone is the downsize, which I'll quickly show you a cross section of the results I'm seeing here. Now, what you're going to notice on all these images is a lot of similarities in that they're bright images, but really important that you take the image and remove that kind of gray veneer from it. Everything should pop and have a really nice finish, but it needs to exist locally, incredibly important. So the only difference that you'll see on all these quick ones that I'm going to show you is the image itself. This is reflective of our local market here in Kelowna. And as you can see, for the Kelowna market, keep in mind our median price is just over $1 million. We're running at $12 a day. We're averaging $6.70 per lead. We're down to $6.19 per lead. For this market, that is fantastic, and they're doing quite well so far. So I like that one. These ones are just all downsized for now. I'm just going to quickly rip through these. And this one's Southern California, Orange County specifically. I know Chase is running a good number of ads in the same location, doing quite well. His are actually doing a little bit better right now, but this is still the same thing. $5 a lead on average in a very competitive market, which I'm pretty happy with. This one here is in the Michigan market. So you can see again, the imagery, I feel it just stands, it speaks for itself. It's a nice image. There's nothing crazy about it, but I've tried to make sure, again, I brighten up the image, clean them up, make them look nice. In a more rural market, this is what we're seeing. $3, $2.60 a lead. That's a little bit more of the expectation for that market in that area of the world. Quickly go through. This is Fort Worth, Texas. So again, simple imagery, nothing crazy about it. We're getting $3, $4, $5 leads. Finally, for the Canadians in here, you'll recognize this is from the GTA Mississauga market, and we are right around that $4 to $5 mark per lead again. So really, it doesn't matter if you're in a $100,000 market or $1 million market. The downsize ad, not only is it working super well statistically, all the feedback I'm getting, and this has been year after year, is that do you find some bad leads? Of course. No matter what ad you're running, you're always going to find some people you don't want. But most importantly, you do find a good handful of the right people. And those people oftentimes are sellers. So again, during your conversations, do you rent or do you own? And if what you're hearing back is I rent, choose. Do I want to work with first-time buyers? Is that my avatar? If so, you're in the right place. If not, reset that ad and keep going until you find the right stream. My next one, the upsize, has been by far my second favorite ad, right behind the downsize, and I feel they couple well together. So if I'm running people's ads for them, very commonly I am running one of each of these or a myriad of both. So I'll show you the differences. And again, you're going to see very similar things with the imagery. However, the verbiage structure has now changed. This, and I'm going to show you how to build one of these ones. Super simple, nothing crazy about it, but I find that the for sale needs to be in there to encourage more people who are looking to buy and more than likely would sell first rather than people looking to rent, right? So see all available. And the only thing that I added was 3+ bedroom family homes for sale. And then your area, used a nice image of the location. Again, we're talking about a multi-million-dollar area, and we're currently under $5 a lead. So I really like that one. I'll just quickly race through a couple more. Same thing, nice good size home. It's not too big. I think it's right on par for the area, 3+ bedrooms in the northwest suburbs. So this is a little bit more rural in nature. We're under $3 a lead. And so this is Langley, British Columbia. Again, you're not going to get this home here for under $1 million, I wouldn't believe. And we are right around that $475 per lead. Finally, I'll finish off in the Mississauga area. Again, this is a $1 million home, no problem. And we are right around that $5 lead mark. So again, all I'm trying to enforce here is that it doesn't matter how competitive your area, what the market's doing, none of these things, because we're not looking for leads tomorrow. We're looking for leads in months and weeks and in the future. So keep bringing people in that are interested in these kind of things. Can't encourage that enough. Let's move into waterfront ads. Waterfront ads are, I would say, less seasonal than pool home ads. You'll see that I have less examples of pool home ads than I typically would, just because seasonality being it's not quite pool home season, but waterfront still works. Waterfront works any season. So here's one from the Knoxville, Tennessee area. So what I've done is see all available waterfront homes for sale, and I've added both of the counties that this individual works in. So see all available waterfront homes for sale in Knox and Anderson County. And as you can see here, we're averaging right around 250 a lead. And so far, this individual, when we met, I'm never running buyer's ads. Never, ever am I going to run a buyer's ad. If I get a buyer, I'm referring them. I don't care if they're looking for a $10 million property. I have no interest in buyers, Logan. Only run seller ads. We've been running this one here since August, and she's closed a good handful of leads. This exact same thing, people who currently own on the waterfront or want to relocate to the area. And at $2.40 per opportunity, she's closed a good number of these already and turned them into two-end deals. So highly encourage. If you have something like, it doesn't have to be oceanfront, lakefront, nothing like that, waterfront. If there's waterways and canals, good enough to run it. And I quite like that one. A couple more really quickly. Here's one from Maricopa County. Very similar again in terms of verbiage, in terms of imagery. We're right around that $5 mark per lead. And finally, this one here is Carrie, who is here. We've been running this one for her, different versions and different variations for quite some time. I believe she's pretty happy with it as far as I know. And we're currently under $2 a lead. Carrie, if you're super unhappy with it, go ahead and chime in and let me know. But that's big. We had to do a reset on her ads recently for a new website. But again, strong performance out of the gate on the new ads, and everything looks good in terms of what I'm looking for. If you're in a more metro area, there's no waterfront, people aren't downsizing, homes aren't the same. We're more in a condo townhome driven market. I know Natasha's on here as well, and this is one of her ads we're currently running. So this is for the Vancouver area, condos and townhomes. And again, imagery is so very important. And when I look at this image, to me, it's inviting. It's nice. It's just a nice, there's nothing crazy about it, no tricks, nothing like that. It's just a nice image that kind of evokes the thoughts of a happy lifestyle. If you're going to live in a nice townhome in the area, to me, it hits the mark. And again, in a multi-million dollar area, we're right around $6 leads so far. So pretty happy with all of that. Let's take you guys into, yes, the last one, view homes, pool homes, and luxury homes. Those do also work quite well. Here's a view home. If you live in an area that's got nice views, utilize it. So this is Canmore, Alberta, and it's just simply see all homes with family homes with a mountain view. And I wanted to take some time to go through strategy. I won't have a lot of time to go through ad management strategies with you guys, but I'll just really quickly use this as an example. This is an ad that I built back in May of 2023, so earlier this year. It ran very well for quite some time. So unfortunately, what happened was it costed itself out a little bit, right? The last 7 days would have read around $11, maybe $12 per lead, and I wasn't super happy with that. So I began decreasing budgets, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to save this one. It got paused. I actually just turned it back on maybe 3 or 4 days ago, something like that. And we're right at $3 leads. So something that you can do is as you're decreasing your budgets, if you drop it off, no problem. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks, give it a little bit longer. In fact, go back in time and look through some of your previous ads that had done the best. When you're going back and looking at old ads, don't focus on the last 7 days number. Focus on what it had done for you for the life of it. And if it's seemingly worth it, go ahead and unpause it. Give it 3 days and see how it comes out of the gate. The two most important things with Facebook are consistency and community engagement. And when I unpaused this ad, even though it starts off as a brand new ad in Facebook's eyes, it already had likes and shares and clicks and comments, and it had underlying metrics that supported community engagement. So Facebook looked at it as a native ad, and it obviously is running really well out of the gate. So highly encourage you to look at doing something like that. Pool home ads. Pool home ads, this is certainly not the nicest image I'll ever use, of course, but again, see all available pool homes for sale in your area, and we should average $5 to $8 per lead on those ones, typically right in that mark. Really good on all those. I'll just skip right to the luxury one. So see all available luxury homes, just use a nice image, and currently in a median in that area is about 500 to 600,000. We're looking at about $4 leads. Again, really good opportunities to be had if you want to have them. Simply Be sure you are utilizing your IDX. Make sure that you're using things available to you. The next one I can't show you guys because I'm sure my computer will melt down if I try to do a Google Earth image now, but I'm sure you guys have seen either Ira or somebody mention this on previous masterminds. Simply go to Google Earth, type in your area, zoom it in a little bit, hit the little 3D button after you do set up your screen records, Shift Control 5, and then record the Google Earth, and we're seeing really good results on that one. So this is back to a what's your home worth ad, but I'm using that Google Earth imagery, and we're getting $6 leads. They're down to $3.50. I've got other ones. The average on this one is somewhere around $7 a lead or so, but when we were doing the what's your home with the static image, I would say $11 to $18 a lead wasn't unrealistic. So switching up and using the Google Earth video has been a game changer. And I know Ira came up with that idea and it's been working fantastically well. So I would look at that. I was going to show you some live accounts and give you a couple ideas as to the management and what I do. There's different levels of spend. Everybody who meets me has a different idea as to what they want to put forward, and that's perfectly fine. You can put as much or as little as you want into these ads. What's most important is what you're getting from it. So we're working with a reduced budget right now in Carrie's account. We're down to $300 a month, and it's okay. We had been running at more, and things have been working really well. How are we now going to manage working with a little bit less money? Not a problem at all. Run ads that are currently working in the right setup. As you can see, we're about $3.72 per lead. So run the ads that are working for you in your area and just split your money appropriately. We have found a good sequence so far with these 2 ads. So I'm leaving it there for now on those and simply moving money around. I'll get into another account really quickly here. Here is another account. You can see we're running $500 a month. So with this one, what I've done is I've been able to spread that amongst significantly more ads. We're doing a couple property listing ads. Not something I mentioned, but something you guys should absolutely be running. As you can see, we're averaging around $4 leads on her property listing ads. Same thing on this one, $2 lead, quite good. And then as you'll see in almost all of my accounts, an upsize with just a simple image that's working quite well, $3 a lead. And then a downsize, which is around that $3 a lead. The last one I'm going to touch on really quickly for you guys here is a local account. This is a local agent to where we are here. Again, 1,000,001 is the median. I'll quickly take a peek at the ads. So there's some really cool stuff that's coming. I'll just show you a really brief glimpse as to how I use it and hopefully get you guys really excited. So what we can see is in this particular account, I'm running a ton of ads. Now, this individual has a monthly budget of $1,500 a month. So I've got a little bit more to work with. Now, as you can see, if we go through, we're getting $7 leads, $7 leads, $4 leads. Oh, that one's up almost to 9. So this one needs a little bit of work. Go down and that one's at 5. Everything looks pretty good across the board, but I'm going to end the month $40 short of our projected budget. Now, it's better to be a little under than way over, of course, but I want to fill that gap. So I'm going to start looking at things. And now overall, I'm at $7 a lead. Again, in this area, cost expectation is about $14 a lead. I'd say $13 to $14 a lead is the expectations for this area. So we're already doing quite well. I'm very happy here, but we want more. So what I'm going to do on my management side of things is I like to take a quick glimpse through what's working and what's not and start to make my adjustments. So knowing that I've got roughly $2 I can add, let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to look at this one and say, I'm pretty happy leaving that one there, pretty happy leaving that one there. This one had been running at a much higher amount. The last 7 days tally got up to, I think it was $12, $13. Now, this is what most people do in this situation. Oh my goodness, my lead cost is too much. Boom, I'm going to cancel that ad. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to launch a new one. Again, consistency, engagement. Those are the 2 keys. So instead of doing that, what I had done, I reduced the budget from $12 a day all the way down to $6. Waited for this number here to plummet. It did. It doesn't always, but usually it does. Now I'm in the process of building this one back up slowly. So when I reduce a budget in order to force the algorithm to change, it's any adjustment more than 25%. If I'm really unhappy, I'll usually cut that budget in half. Again, 12 down to 6. Then I start increasing with less than 25% increases, 5 to 6, 6 to I think 750, on and on, right? 25% jumps all the way up. Now we're at 476. I'm really happy with that. So I want to encourage Facebook to keep doing good now. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one $2. So I'm going to move it from 9 all the way up to 11. What we're going to see though, if I go up here and I reset my screen, we're going to find that my projected ad spend is going to be right where I want it to be. So we're perfect. But there's still changes I want to make. So I'm going to go back to it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to quickly look at this one. I just adjusted that one. This one, and here's another part of my strategy. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but you'll see I've got two identical ads. They're from the same split test. Why are they still running? A, we've got room in the budget, so I can. But I look at it like I've got my rain barrel and I've got another bucket, and my rain barrel has now sprung a leak. I don't want that water hitting the floor. I'm going to put another bucket underneath. So I've got a second ad that looks exactly the same. And in fact, it is the same. This is the one, however, that sprung a leak. So what I want to do is I want to remove a couple dollars from that one. In fact, I'm only going to take one away from it. I've actually been reducing it recently to get it, down, but I'm going to take $1 away from that one. And I should have done this one first to show you, but as I take that one away, I'm giving 1 or 2 to that other ad, which I've already done, which you've seen. Give this a sec to load. And once that's done, I'm going to give $1 more to either way. So I'm going to add another dollar to one of the other ads. And what we'll see at the end of it is that we're right exactly where I want to be in terms of spend. So unfortunately, it's taking its sweet time. So I'm not going to dig too much into that. But the last thing I wanted to share was simply, there we go. So again, verbiage wise, you can build almost any of these ads using the same template. All you need to do is go into the launch ads section, go find the buyer's campaign, which I'll show you right here, buyer campaign lead ad, and we're going to go ahead and hit select. And my area is Kelowna. Great. I would do an upsize. We're going to do 3+ bedroom family homes for sale. Go into your images, select an image that exists, right? Whatever one that you've already got, or upload a file. If you're doing your own file really quickly, I'll show you this. Take your image, whatever it might be, go to Canva, go to the free version of Canva, resize it, make it look good. If you look at this, there's a couple things that you'll notice, especially after I make my changes. It doesn't really look like much now, but it's got this kind of a gray filter to it, and it's a little bit blurry. It's not perfect. Am I going to make it perfect? No, but I'm going to make it much better really quickly. As soon as I've resized it, I simply go edit photo, hit adjust. First thing I like to adjust is the clarity. So I go down to sharpness. Don't change it too much. It looks weird. So I usually move it up about there, clarity a little bit as well. You can see it's already cleared up. Then I go vibrance and saturation. Now, you're not going to notice, again, a whole lot quite yet. It's a little bit much, but I find the place where I'm happy with it. Let's say it's there. Okay, great. Now, again, really look at this image, right? And then check this out. Now that you're really looking at it, look what happens when I reset the adjustments. It's subtle. It really doesn't look like that much, but when you compare the two side by side, mine will really jump out. It's sharp, it's crisp, it's clean, it's bright. This one, a little blurry, a little muddy, a little tone deaf, right? So when you're comparing the two on Facebook now, especially on a mobile device, iPhone especially, something nice and bright, when people are whipping through, there's a noticeable difference in the image by making this subtle little adjustment. People always ask, what are you doing differently? I've been doing the same stuff. This is a big one for me. This is one very subtle thing that I do to almost every image that I run. I quickly put it through Canva and it almost always increases performance. So again, super simple. And then the very last thing I'll share with you, if you're not sure what to run, go into your website, go into the IDX, hit buy, go into your search for homes, go and see what you can offer. Again, I said it on yesterday's mastermind, you can't offer something like homes with laser beams off the roof because there's no IDX filter for that. So don't offer that, because if you offer something and don't provide that, now you're backpedaling, right? So you never want to do that. So in my opinion, I wasn't even going to touch on this, but don't run the ones that say no link. Those hurt my heart. But now what I do is I come in here and say, hey, what can I offer? I'm going to go and hit the more section, and this is going to be my ad ideas. So now I'm going to go through. I can filter by minimum and maximum square footage. I can do upsize and downsize. I can filter by year built. I can do new construction. I can do fixer uppers probably from there. I can do homes with carpet over hardwood. Not sure why anybody on earth would ever be looking for that. That's, again, hurts my heart. But again, maybe I think people in my area want that, and I can offer that. Homes on the waterfront, homes with a wood burning fireplace. And now if you're thinking of an offer and you don't have the ability to filter by that, reach out to your webmaster and say, hey, I would love the ability to filter by X, Y, and Z. I can almost assure you your board provides that information. The IDX is just not filtering it. Simple as that. Get it added. Homes in an adult area, age restricted building, gated community, waterfront pool home, view home, insert amenity here and run with it. Choose the appropriate image, build the right ads, monitor them, and yeah, split test. And yeah, for now, I'll pass it over to Steve, who's going to go through some exciting new features and some really neat stuff that we've got coming down the pipeline. Hopefully that was helpful.
Not anymore, Logan. You stole them all. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, that session, was that not amazing? Let's give Logan some love. Like that was awesome. I mean,
Logan,
he
Logan,
moved through
Logan.
fast, and obviously he can do all this for you, but he's also showing you exactly what he does. And there were so many nuggets. Like I would highly recommend when you get the recording, go through that a few times. What was Logan doing?
Yeah, real quick,
what were
like
the
we're always
small
like
little tweaks? Yeah.
with the ad management service, there's a couple different reasons people find us, of course, but my opinion is if you haven't been able to learn how to do it yourself, and that's the reason you're looking to delegate, we haven't done our job quite yet, showing you that you absolutely can do all this stuff yourself. And if there's anything that you're missing, if my ads aren't working, this isn't working, whatever, we have so many sessions in the masterminds, like there's so many experts on this call alone that are so willing to share their time and what they've learned and what they're doing. Again, the ad management service, I love working, with people and doing things on that end, but you don't need it as long as you are willing to put in the time and learn. And I think it's one of the best investments you'll make in your own business.